It's the libraries. What separates a good Vermont town from a great Vermont town? One could argue that it's a town that offers wonderful recreation, excellent schools, and outstanding libraries. According to the Vermont Library Association, Vermont has 185 public libraries, which is impressive considering we only have 251 towns. It's even more remarkable considering the state offers no funding for libraries. In March, the voters of Manchester, Vermont are being asked to continue their support for one of the finest libraries in Vermont, the Manchester Community Library. The MCL is celebrating its 10th anniversary at its present location this year. This magnificent library was built with private donations, with the community helping with its continued operation. To date, that has been the case, but now there seems to be some concern from the town leaders regarding this year's request for funding. The MCL is asking for $317,000 from taxpayers. According to comments in the Manchester Journal, people were led to believe that this is an increase from the previous year, which was $243,700. If I've learned nothing from a lifetime of being in politics, I've learned to read what's not being said. This is not an increase from last year. It's an increase from 5 years ago. That's right. The request from the MCL has been $243,700 for the past 5 years. This is the first requested increase in 6 years. The $73,300 increase equates to only $12,116.67 annually, reflecting inflation and increasing costs over the years. Vermonters are commonly known for their support of assets that they consider to be of high value. Sadly, Vermont is one of 5 states that does not provide any assistance to our public libraries. Thus, the burden falls to the towns. The average local support for Vermont libraries is 84% of their budgets. In the case of Manchester, a town that most consider relatively well off, the local participation today is only 24%, which is 60% lower than the state average. Last year, 50,000 people went through the Manchester Community Library's doors. That's double from 2022. They have tripled their programs and events, bringing in 15,000 attendees. Last year, they added 800 new members for a total of 3,900 members. 2/3 of them are Manchester citizens. From 2022 to 2023, the number of people who utilized this library doubled. Events doubled. Access to books expanded to 500,000 titles. We got an entire second library for free. People really like our library, we just don't like to pay for it. Well, I really like to live in a warm house, so I have to buy fuel. Do I like buying fuel? No, not really. But I sure do like being warm. It's a trade-off. It's important to understand that if the voters deny the request for funding, the results would be devastating. They would not simply deny the modest increase requested, they would vote down all local funding. This would basically demolish the operational budget. Does the town of Manchester really want to be known as the town that abandoned this great library on its 10th anniversary? True leaders understand and appreciate vital assets that contribute to the health and well-being of their town. The voters appropriate millions of dollars to our elementary school and to Burton Academy with little or no objection. Why? Because we have darn good schools that prove beneficial for our kids. Isn't the same true for our library? Kids always need something constructive to do. If not, they will seek out something which may or may not be beneficial. Libraries generally provide a safe haven and a good outlet for our kids. The MCL may very well be the best place for our kids to spend their free time with its multiple after-school programs. In addition, the MCL is utilized for police training, energy committee meetings, cell tower meetings, select board meetings, and recreation park camps. Over the past decade, the MCL has become the community hub of the town of Manchester and the region. Now is not the time to turn our backs on this great asset. The fact is that compared to the state average, Manchester is getting a world-class library for 25 cents on the dollar. By anyone's account, this is a true bargain. It should be noted that next year's MCL budget is 3% lower than this year. They've reduced their largest budget item of payroll and benefits while increasing investment in materials and programs. They have a balanced budget with no planned deficit. This is nothing short of a miracle in these times of high inflation. The 12-person library board, 11 of whom are from Manchester, the others from Dorset, has done a remarkable job of properly managing this great facility. Manchester voters have a real opportunity to show their gratitude for the hard work, the good work, the positive contribution that this extremely high-quality asset provides not only to the town of Manchester, but to surrounding communities. I encourage the voters of the town of Manchester to support this modest request and keep this vital asset moving forward. I'm Bob Stannard, and this is The View from my place.